Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Friday, the 23rd of January 2026. So gold and stocks jump as good news sparks dump in rate cut odds. Good news was bad news for bonds and Bitcoin. And gold volatility panic builds as retail and CTAs pile in. Gold monthly RSI at 95, read that again. You can take no notice of that whatsoever because it's going higher once it breaks the 5,000 level, which is going to be done today by the looks of things. Japanese JPY reverses earlier losses ahead of the Bank of Japan rate decision. US and China have signed off on a deal to sell TikTok's US business to a consortium of mostly US investors led by Oracle and Silver Lake, Semaphore reported. And finally, stocks rebound continues as geopolitical woes ease, which is a good thing. And then economic news today, we've got retail sales for the UK, and then we've got all of the flash news with Lagarde speaking as well. We've got day 5 of the WEF meetings as well. So she's probably going to be speaking there, and then it's flash news for the afternoon as well. So geopolitically as well, it isn't sorted whatsoever, and I'll tell you why. Because the gold price is going up. It's a case of getting it out of the news for a bit, and everybody piling into a safe haven with no third-party risk is what it's all about. So anyway, let's have a look at the stock markets from yesterday and kick off with the Dow. So we can see the Dow starting to move back up as well, all to its all-time high and that 50,000 psychological target after we've had a bit of a pullback in the last week with Trump and his tariffs. Now they're off the table at the moment. The stock markets are free to move back to the upside, and you can see that yesterday they moved up in the pre-market Dow, the cash market, had a bit of a spike there, didn't we? But it soon reversed, picked up the buy orders at the high from Wednesday, and then we see the market giving back some of the move before the close. And in the German DAX, we see a follow through from the buying on Wednesday. Thursday, very, very quiet day compared to Wednesday, and overnight prices are sideways to higher, trying to catch a lift with the positive moves that are coming out of the US overnight. There you can see range bound, just an awful range there in the 30-minute chart. But overnight, prices have gone back through sailing through the 200 MA and the close there, and continuing to the upside. In the S&P 500, it too is moving back to the upside after the bit of climatic volume for the previous 3 days. And in the 30-minute chart, again, you can see prices up, and then the cash market opening there. Nice bit of demand with the olive green bars. Prices moving up, but then coming back to the psychological level there of, if I can just pick that up for you, 6,900, and then bouncing off that overnight as well, moving up nicely towards the high of yesterday. Meanwhile, in the UK, consolidating, still hasn't closed below the 20-bar moving average, heading back up there, which we can see. Let me just get the right button, move this over so you can see. So we're heading back towards the 10,257, and the 30-minute chart, you can see a bit of volatility there yesterday, particularly around lunchtime there, before prices overnight have managed to come off the low. So in the US dollar, down sharply overnight, the threat of war disappearing there, so the so-called flight to quality disappearing, trying to move up there a bit, but doesn't really matter, to be honest with you, because the story, obviously the US dollar's moved down, but the gold price has moved higher, but the real story is the silver price. So let's have a look in the Far East. Yesterday we were 104, we've got a $7 jump overnight. That's massive. That's massive. Now, of course, in the COMEX, the price was already $11 yesterday, so jumping up another 7, it had no choice other than to move up overnight. So let's have a look at that. And there you can see, if I get the right charts, there we go. You can see there that we're heading towards $100 per ounce, and that's going to happen today. if the Shanghai market manages to increase the spot price from 111 to let's say 112, 113, then you will see that move higher. But at the moment, 99.38 is the high. So, and if we get through 100 and they keep marking up in the Far East, they've actually got them by the short and curlies now, because the physical market in Shanghai is going to put a massive amount of pressure on the Crimex or the Comex to actually narrow this massive premium. We looked at that yesterday. Meanwhile, gold is also heading up to the $5,000 per ounce level as well. The climb in gold over the last year or 2 years, this is not good news. The fact that silver's gone up is not good news. But the thing with silver, we just go back, this is actually repricing. This is not a bubble. This is repricing of silver, as I've mentioned for years in the market alert. The price was $50 in 1980. Adjusted for inflation takes you to $230. So $230 per ounce for silver. This is a repricing. This is not a bubble. And in just going back to the 30-minute there of that's silver. Oh, you can see that overnight there. You can see that spike as soon as the the Shanghai fix came out. You can see the impact there. But $100 today, it might probably try and come back. As a lot of people will want to get out, but watch the fix in China. That's going to be the key today. That's going to be the key. 111 for the morning, which is massive. But gold 30-minute chart, you can see there is just sideways at the moment. It's at yesterday's high, and likely to have a bit of a move to the upside today also. And the gold-silver ratio, you can see they're starting to break down. And if we get through 100, you will see the gold-silver ratio once more go through the downside 50 psychological level there. Let's have a quick look at yesterday's trades. The market was quite volatile in the pre-market. But as we saw in the daily chart of the DAX, it became very choppy and very sideways. And you can see that it was choppy. In the morning session, we had a potential sell, but they said no, we're moving the market back to the upside, which you'll see in a moment. The buy signal failed to be filled, and then it was filled, or would have been filled, and then we see the price move up with having to suffer the loss. So let's get to the afternoon, and in the afternoon, prices just marched to the upside, as we've seen with the Dow and the S&P, and there. Getting back to the previous day's high before we had a sell to recoup the losses, and the price moving down about 70 points there before we then got into another sideways move before it started to move back up to yesterday's high. And currently we've got prices moving to the upside. Let's just squeeze this and have a look to attack yesterday's high. We're doing quite well at the moment. All of the moving averages in the right order for the upside at the moment, apart from the 5, which needs to close back above. But you can see there we're not too far off the high of yesterday, and there's a bit of a positive boost there coming out of the US markets as well with the overnight futures. Right, well, that's it for me today and for this week. So have a great weekend. Let's see if the silver price can take out 100. I do believe we're going to see that. Particularly if we get another PM fix in Shanghai above 111, which I think now you're going to see the actual moon shoot of silver. This is just the start of where I've waited 30 years to see that repricing actually come back to what it should be, the fair value price. And we'll see the price discovery is going on as I actually record. So with that, have a great day, have a great weekend, and as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.